with Warren Simons. He is editor-in-chief of my favorite comic book company, and they're like, no, he's lying. Like, no, seriously, I'm not. It really is my favorite comic book company. How you doing today, good sir?
I'm doing well, buddy. I like that it's your favorite comic book company. That's a great thing.
Slowly but surely, you guys were the first people to actually jump on Comics After Dark for giving us our previews, and from there it just exploded with the universe that I got to submerge myself and our listeners in.
Awesome.
So, Exo Manowar just dropped.
Yes.
Quite possibly the biggest marketing I've ever seen for a comic book in history.
I think it's the biggest launch that Valiant's ever done. Hats off to the entire team, including our marketing expert, our marketing guru, Hunter Goranson, and our publisher, Fred Pearson, of course, our CEO, Dinesh Shamdasani. I feel like the launch was chugging on all cylinders from the creative side with Matt Kint and Tomas Giorello and Luis LaRosa on covers to the whole team. So yeah, it was a really good launch for us.
Yeah, I mean, for some of the retailers, they got pins, they got rings, an exclusive metal-plated variant, which
yes.
I still have yet to get my hands on, damn it.
It's around here somewhere. It's around
is
here
it?
somewhere. It is. There's some booth over here that has it, certainly.
I'm gonna definitely have to pick that up. So, first off, why such the big launch, and why the, I guess, reboot, if you will?
Well, it's our flagship character, potentially our flagship character. Exo's sort of one of the fundamental cornerstones of the Valiant universe. And, you know, we didn't relaunch it. We don't just slap a number one on a book and say that, you know, this is our relaunch. There has to be a reason why this character, what warrants a new number one. And I think in this particular case, the team came up with a story where we meet Exo Manowar, and he's living as a farmer on an alien planet.
Yes.
And we're kind of trying to figure out, you know, what's going on. The armor's not there. We don't really know what's happening. And what we discover is he's sort of a little bit like William Money in Unforgiven, or William Wallace in Braveheart, in that he sort of retreated away from the violence that's plagued him and followed him his whole life. But then he gets conscripted into an alien army, as it happens on an alien planet. That's a war.
You gotta be a soldier. You're a citizen now. That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly. And he leads a strike team towards a mission, towards a palace that he has to take out. And that's where we open the story. And as it progresses, we'll see more and more, and we'll begin to see that the violence that plagues Eric and follows him like a virus is not so easy to get rid of.
And I might add, like a badass without the armor and missing a hand.
Yes, absolutely. Our writer Matt Kint's done an absolutely fantastic job here. Matt and I talked a lot about the opening of Saving Private Ryan in this particular incarnation of the book, and you could tell that he put together about a 17-page fight scene, which is just amazing. And it was drawn by Tomas Giorello. Tomas has quickly become a fan favorite artist at Valiant. His stuff is absolutely extraordinarily beautiful. Really a gifted draftsman, wonderful storyteller, and we have beautiful colors here by Diego Rodriguez. So I really feel like it's one of the prettiest books we've published, certainly.
Yes, most definitely. Now, where are we going to go down with Exo in this upcoming series?
So we have really the first year planned out, and a little bit after that. The first 3 issues are going to feature Eric as a soldier, and that's going to be with art by Tomas. Then the next 3 issues are going to be called an arc called General, where he sort of elevates up and becomes a little bit more powerful, having successfully worked as a soldier and gained a name for himself among the men. He becomes a general. That art will be by Dougie Braithwaite. And then eventually he's going to rise to the level of Emperor, and that's going to be with art by Clayton Crane, 3 super talented artists, back to back to back. And then we have Miko Soyan and Ryan Bodenheim at the end of the year, at the end of the first year, contributing. And that's going to be our first year, and then after that we have some big events for Eric planned.
You have some big events in general. There's a huge event coming this summer, if I'm not mistaken.
There is a huge event coming this summer. We have the Rapture event coming, if that's what you're referencing. We've got a couple of big books coming out this summer, but Rapture, also by Matt Kim with art by Kafu, is slated for, I believe it is May, and that's going to feature Shadow Man, Ninjak, Tom of the Geomancer, and a whole host of new characters as we journey into the dead side to see that a gigantic army is preparing to basically pierce the heavens and destroy the earth. and Tom of the Geomancer has to bring a group of ragtag heroes from the Valiant universe out, including the Great Punk Mambo, to put a stop to it. So we're pretty excited about that.
We actually seem like we got maybe a slight glimpse of that not too long ago with Ninjak kind of taking on Shadow Man.
Absolutely, so Operation Deadside.
This has been planned for a while then.
Yes, we have Matt's done a fantastic job in all the different corners in our universe, including with Ninjak and Shadow Man. So we've been building towards this a little bit, seeding, and it's going to come to fruition here. And we're also going to see Tom of the Geomancer, who we haven't seen in a couple of months, and learn what she's been up to.
And we're having some more stuff with Bloodshot getting his new #1 as well.
Yes, and Bloodshot Jeff Lemire is going to launch a Bloodshot book for us in September with art by Miko Soyan and Luis LaRosa, where we see that Bloodshot has a daughter now. And she's 8 years old. And we're going to begin to understand that we open with Magic talking with Magic, who readers will know from the previous run, talking with Jessie. And Jessie's going to say, Mommy, where's Daddy? And she's going to say, Daddy couldn't leave well enough alone. He ain't never coming back. And that's where we pick up.
So where are you getting all these great ideas to continue on with the Valiant universe and make it even bigger building blocks than it is?
Well, we're very lucky to have a roster of some of the most talented writers and artists in the entire industry working with us. We've got Kint, we've got Lemire, we've got Eric Kaiser, who just joined us on Secret Weapons. We have Jody Hauser, who's doing Faith for us. We have Rafa Roberts. We have Peter Milliken. The list goes on and on and on. So, what we've built, I feel, is we've built a really, we're not the biggest publisher in the business, but pound for pound, I'll put our books up against anyone. And I think that we've got a real crew of talented, great collaborators. That's really the key. Our writers are just awesome to work with, wonderful to work with, great collaborators, and they're excited. They're not treating the books as their 4th or 5th project that they work on every month. They're treating it as something which is they're putting their hearts into, and I think you can tell in the books.
Yeah, I mean, Fred Valenti, Joshua Dysart. I mean, the list goes. List goes on and on and on. One of my favorite comic books as well, Archer and Armstrong, which is great. Can you maybe tell us a little bit about Archer and Armstrong and the future of it?
Well, we've got some plans in the works right now. Rafa Roberts and David LaFuente just put together. They launched a book for us about 2 years ago, I think, at this point. And Rafa put together a great series for us with Mike Norton, who did an amazing amount of art for us. We just put together an Immortal Brothers book, which is going to come out. We just sent it to the printer, I think, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, which Fred wrote, which features Ivar Time Walker,
yeah, we're having a three-way crossover,
and Armstrong journeying through the Middle Ages, where they encounter the legends of the Green Knight. The Green Knight comes into King Arthur's castle and says that challenges them all to a fight, and basically says, anyone can take a swing with this axe in my head, but in a year's time I get to do the same against you. And Galad takes him up on the offer, chops the knight's head off, and then Knight starts laughing, picks his head up, and walks out. So Galad has to figure out what's going on. Fred did a remarkable job with the script, and Carrie Nora Druid, beautiful inks by Mark Morales, who's one of the finest thinkers in the industry. So I think it's a really, and great colors by Brian Reber. So it's a really beautiful book. And that's where we are with them. We've got Archer popping up in Faith.
Yes.
One of my favorite books of last year was Archer and Armstrong #5 featuring Faith. And we've got some stuff coming down the pipeline with that team. So
with Jody Hauser on it as well.
Yes, Jody doing an absolutely brilliant, magnificent job on Faith. I couldn't be happier with the response we've had to Faith or the work that Jody's done on it. Really visionary type stuff that she's doing, and the response has been extraordinary.
Yeah, and I mean, I've been following Jody since she did a annual for Vertigo, which was just a nice little something in there, and slowly but surely been building up, and I'm so glad she got the opportunity with Faith to work with you guys. What's your favorite part about being an editor over at Valiant?
I think it's having the opportunity to work closely with the creators to sort of help build and flesh out the universe. That's definitely one of the most enjoyable parts of the job. I'm a fan of comics. I've been reading comics since I was a kid. I've worked in the industry now for about 2 decades at this point. And the free flow exchange of ideas, seeing something come to fruition seeing something you design get turned into a TV or movie show.
Yes. Which we'll get into briefly.
All that kind of stuff is it's a good job. It's a fun job. It's a hard job, but it's a great job.
How much of your hand is in the new Valiant Online universe that's going to be created by Bat and the Sun?
Well, I think that we've got a great team that's taking point on that, including Josh Johns, who's our director of digital, and Dinesh, who's our CEO. I know those guys have sort of taken point on that and been out to all hours of the night on sets all across the United States shooting stuff. What I love to see with that is all the costumes and storylines and stuff like that, and how much we built on the publishing side that's now moving over into Ninjak versus the Valiant universe, and the stuff really looks fantastic. And I know the Bad and the Sun guys have done an amazing job with it. Jason David Frank's been an amazing Bloodshot. Michael Roy's been an amazing Ninjak. The whole team's really been fantastic, and it's been really fun to watch it come to life.
And we just recently got news that the Russo brothers are going to be involved in an Archer and Armstrong project. How did that all come about?
I believe that came about via, I'm not sure how much is out there right now, but I know that information was leaked online. I know Dinesh has worked very closely with them, and the whole West Coast side of things, so he's done an awesome job there. So we're excited about that.
How did it feel when you were like, oh wow, like the Russo brothers are interested in this? And actually, it's not Archer and Armstrong. I apologize. It is Quantum and Woody, which what a perfect team, two brothers to work on a two-brother comic book series. Like, how excited were you when at least the news got presented to you?
Well, like everyone else in America, I saw Captain America: Civil War, and I thought it was extraordinary. I thought the guys did just a remarkable job with it, not just on the action sequences, but on the characterization, the story, and the plot, and the changes they made to the initial book on which it was based, and really just one of the best comic book movies that's ever been made. And anytime you can have a talent of that caliber joining you, it's a remarkable thing. So when we first heard it was pretty remarkable.
Valiant's getting a lot of steam in the last 2 to 3 years. We got a leak as well that I guess Sony has the rights to Exo Manowar and Bloodshot, if I'm not mistaken.
I think they have Harbinger and Bloodshot.
Harbinger.
I think there's a 5-picture deal with Harbinger and with Bloodshot from a few years back, culminating with Harbinger Wars. And I know that the guys are moving quickly on that. And there's been a lot of great progress in that area as well. So it's good. It's nice to see everything coming together and the amazing success that the company's having all around.
Now, out of sheer curiosity, is it just they get the rights to it and they kind of read through the comics and you sit back and be like, I wonder where they're going to go down? Or do they turn to you guys and be like, hey, we need a little bit of help of guiding us down this proper route?
I think it's a very labor-intensive process when you're transitioning a piece of IP to film. And I think that there's no direct path. I don't think there's any one thing that happens that you replicate, but I think that it's a process where basically you're continually revising, trying to find the best idea, the best script, the best actor, the best director, stuff like that. And the joy of my job is that I get to execute an idea with a freelancer, and then 30 days later it's published. Whereas on the film side, it could often take years.
Yeah.
And there are many variables that are beyond your control, which determine whether the film gets up and running or the TV show, which is why publishing is such a joy to work in, because you could just have an idea and boom, it's done relatively quickly.
Yeah. So you have to sit patiently and wait and be like, come on, what are you waiting for? Do it already.
So lots of different variables, yeah.
And you know what? I'm going to be excited if it really is true that the director of John Wick is actually going to be the man behind Bloodshot, because that's just, ooh, what a great combination that is. What are you most excited for readers to experience in the next year with Valiant Comics?
I think Exo #1 is a great starting place.
Amazing starting place.
I'm really excited about that. I think Secret Weapons with Eric Heiser and Raul Allen, which we're launching in June, I believe, is a pretty awesome starting place.
You've been really quiet about that.
Yes.
Hence the secret part.
Eric is, he was nominated for an Academy Award for Arrival. Just an extraordinarily incredibly talented writer. And Raul Allen, who did the Eternal Warrior series for us last year, is on art duties. I think that's going to be great. We've got some stuff cooking up with Faith, which I think is going to be awesome. We've got some stuff. I'm just excited for everything. I really love the medium. I love comics, and I love looking over at our booth and seeing the fans come and someone pick up EXO for the first time and come back the next day and buy a bunch of stuff because they love it, or some of our longtime fans who are really paying attention to what we're doing and enjoying it. So that's great.
Yes, I already bought my EXO shirt. I was able to snag up a gold variant, and I had to grab the golden apple variant as well.
Nice,
so,
nice.
Yes, you guys have plenty of my money. Last but not least, where can we find you on the internet?
You can find me at Warren Simons on Twitter. I've got a Twitter handle. I tweet out lots of Valiant stuff, lots of Valiant art. I'm over there.
Make sure to follow him there, and of course, pick up anything Valiant. I've already been telling you, so go ahead and do it. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you.